All right, guys, Zach Evanish here, Underground Strength Gym and ZachStrength.com. I want to break down this post that I put up on Instagram, and I think I'll pull it up from Twitter. Might be a little bit easier for us to see. Well, we'll just go here. All right, so a couple things that are going on. I'm doing a lot of coaching, about 8-9 groups a day, and we've got a lot of athletes that are injured. We essentially had 6 months of time off from the time that COVID shut down schools here in New Jersey until we got back to it. Kids that were training at home don't necessarily have the right equipment to truly develop themselves. You know, they might have a bench to work some upper body with benching, and kids were doing a lot of chest and bicep training. Nobody was doing sled drags or trap bar deadlifting or kettlebell swings or lunges and all kinds of other unilateral variations of lunges and split squats. And so we're seeing a lot of quad injuries, quad pulls and strains, hamstring strains, knee injuries, ankles, a lot of basically lower body injuries. And so sometimes younger athletes, and when I say younger, I mean high school, collegiate athletes, they attach their injury to something that was done in training, and then they will go and seek out all of these therapeutic treatments, which don't necessarily help the issue. For example, if the quad or the hamstring keeps getting pulled, it means your lower body was not ready for the sprinting or the volume of work that your lower body's getting from practice. So games are just starting now. Athletes are getting a condensed season. They practice for 2 weeks. And so now they think, oh no, I pulled my quad. I don't know if I want to trap bar deadlift. Well, listen, you're a football player. You're a senior. You're 190 pounds. Deadlifting 135 on a trap bar for 5 sets of 3 is where we want to start moving towards. We want to start doing lunges, forward, reverse, walking, lateral. We want to start doing split squats. So you see what I wrote here is weightlifting is not dangerous. Kettlebells are not dangerous. You don't get hurt because of lifting weights, and you don't get hurt because of kettlebells. You get hurt because of how these training tools are being used. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but there's a lot of coaches out there that do not understand the intricacies and the complexities involved with training athletes. How do I work around an injury? How do I slowly bring them back to training to build not only their physical preparation, their physical readiness, but their emotional, psychological, mental readiness? So kid has a shoulder injury, a wrist or hand injury, a back injury, a knee injury. Your job as a coach is to find exercises that slowly bring them back to full movement, slowly get closer to training the injured area. At first, we're working around it. And then how do you build their confidence? Unfortunately, who holds more clout than a strength and performance coach? A doctor. So what does a doctor tell the majority of kids that I've worked with? You've got a wrist injury, stay home. Don't do any training. It's not worth it. Your shoulder injured, don't do anything. It's not worth it. Your knee is injured, don't worry about the other leg. Don't do upper body. Stay home. And it's like this extreme safety does not get them strong. How confident can an athlete get to return to play when he or she is skipping practice because the doctor said do 0 versus let's see what you could do? What about sitting home on the couch, sitting on the phone all day? Now you're scared to get back into play. If it's a contact sport, hockey, field hockey, lacrosse, soccer, football, I mean, what sport is not contact? Now the athlete is scared. And so I would love a doctor who had who was formerly competing in athletics at a high level. So he or she understands what it's like to chase greatness, to chase elite. So you see here, I wrote the athletes who have gotten injured through training, it's not because of what they did. It's because they were doing that training incorrectly. And the other thing is sometimes an athlete is not emotionally ready for the bench press. She does not understand wrist position, shoulder position, having the torso locked onto the bench. They don't understand managing technique. They don't understand putting a bar on their back and having their body. I know Cal Dietz says not bracing, but let me tell you, you could try not to brace when you're squatting. You're going to brace when there's a bar on your back. I'm not going to brace when I'm running down the field. That doesn't mean I don't brace when I'm having a bar on my back. So the bottom line is, don't throw athletes who are not physically ready and or mentally ready for a certain training. Don't have them do stuff that they're not ready for. And this is what else I follow up with. It's not the kid's fault. They don't know what they don't know. They're oftentimes being coached incorrectly. And it reminds me, we need more coaches education out there, or we have so much coaches education out there. I think the issue might be coaches don't want to invest in themselves. Sometimes that's the issue. So if you're not a great coach, that's your fault, because there's so much free information out there. Free information from Eric Cressy, from Joe Ken. I've got 4,000 plus videos. Travis Mash, my friends at Power Athlete, Jake Tour doing all this stuff on patella tendons and knee injuries. Joel at Just Fly Podcast, you name it. You could get a master class. Matt Wenning's information, all the free information from Westside Barbell. Anybody, using kettlebells, my buddy Jason C. Brown, Pavel, Dan John, just to rattle off a few, Marty Gallagher, Jim Steele. You can become, you can go through a master class with the free stuff, but I think coaches are wasting time not learning the right stuff. So we got to get after it. We need more great coaches, because good enough is hurting these athletes. That's it, guys. Go to ZachStrength.com, get on the free newsletter. I've got a Zoom group video that I want to come up with on program design and really digging deep into the training of athletes, the whole sport performance umbrella. And I'll be announcing that through the newsletter. And I don't think it'll be just one Zoom call. I think it's going to be 2 Zoom calls. I'm excited to do that. So make sure you're on the newsletter. All right, guys, talk to you soon. And I think shut it down. We're out.